which is my husband, Chris. Chris, I kind of already know, but on camera, can you tell people what your first thoughts and even extended thoughts and feelings were when I got my diagnosis of MS?
Yeah. So initially, we got the diagnosis in the emergency room on a weekend after like 2 months of kind of progressing symptoms to the point where it took me taking you to the ER. The first thing was just shock. Like, is this real life? That was the first feeling that I had. It was like rapid fire shotgun blast versus of emotions, because right after the shock, I looked at you and I looked around the room because both sets of parents were there and everything too, and I kind of looked at everybody. I remember standing at the foot of the bed and I looked at everybody and I looked at you, and you just had this look on your face like you were shocked as well. Then after I saw that look on your face, that's when I got pissed and I was angry for a moment. And then I realized that at least now we have answers. So then there was a brief moment of relief, I guess, because the last 2 months and then,
Sorry.
months prior to that, intermittently, were, we didn't know what was going on. So at least we had relief. And then at that point, I was like, okay, well, how do we fix it? And so I immediately began trying to learn everything that I could about it, as far as treatments, as far as prognosis, what to expect. And what we found, obviously, is that we don't know what to expect. That's one of the things about this bitch of a disease, is that you don't know what to expect. At that point, for that weekend, because you were in the hospital for 2 days at that point, and I was just kind of switched to, like I said, survival mode at that point, where I was going through and just trying to learn everything I could, reading everything I could. I found a really good source on the website, Reddit. Reddit has a subreddit for multiple sclerosis that involves caretakers and patients as well, and they can give you kind of real life accounts of what's going on, something like we're doing here. That weekend was just kind of a blur. I remember staying in the hospital with you, and I would just make sure that you were situated, in your room, and then I would leave to the corner of the hospital and have a good cry, and then come back and make sure everything was okay.
I love you.
Love you. And we've been going on since then.
If I haven't said this yet, I was diagnosed 9 months into our first year of marriage. Shitty timing. But I can't even imagine where I'd be if I didn't have this man. So I'm very grateful for you. And I know I don't say it enough, but I am very grateful for you.
I love you.
I love you too.